Members of the January 6th Select Committee looking into the Capitol riot announced this week that they're going to be seeking the phone records, the text messages, emails, and other electronic communications from hundreds of individuals. And that also includes, they mentioned, some members of Congress. And while they didn't tell us specifically which members of Congress they were talking about, we pretty much have a good idea of which members of Congress they were talking about. For example, I think they probably want to know why Mo Brooks said in a recent interview that, yeah, I was warned there would be violence, so I wore a bulletproof vest to the Stop the Steal rally. Gee, kind of sounds like you knew something that you didn't share with your fellow members of Congress that may have been of interest to them. So who told you? How did you know these things? Where the hell did you get a bulletproof vest on last minute notice? Maybe they want to see the communications of Lauren Boebert. How did you manage to get into the Capitol building in late December, I think it was, and take a tour on a weekend when the Capitol was closed, at night when the Capitol was like doubly closed, and you were escorted around by a security guard with several other people? How in the heck did that happen? Because you hadn't even been sworn in yet. You weren't even technically a member of Congress. So maybe we need some answers about that. Maybe we need some answers from people like Jim Jordan, who keeps kind of shifting his timeline on when he spoke to Donald Trump on the telephone that day. And if you ask me, to be honest, that is probably the number one thing that these select committee members are trying to find out. And honestly, that's kind of unfortunate. You know, they want to really hammer Trump on this. They want to get him on it. They want to see if they can catch Jim Jordan talking to him earlier in the day as it's happening to whatever it is. No, I want to know from Mo Brooks. I want Mo Brooks's communications. I want to know who warned him about what happened. I want to know how Lauren Boebert was able to give a tour of the Capitol at night when she wasn't even a member of Congress yet. Sure, it may not be related to the January 6th insurrection, but don't you think that's probably still the kind of information we should know? This woman had not been sworn in. She didn't even have an office there. She didn't have keys. So how did this happen? There's a lot more questions that need to be answered other than just, did you talk to Trump at 11 or did you talk to him at noon? Sure, I understand how that might end up being relevant to your investigation, but trust me, it's not the only relevant piece of information still floating out there with a big giant question mark on it. We need answers on every single thing, no matter who they're about. Because if you're not going to do that, if you're just using this select committee to try to go after Donald Trump once again, then the whole thing is basically as legit as that Arizona ballot audit. You have to get real answers from every single person. And that includes going after Mo Brooks and Lauren Boebert as well. And I'm hoping that you had already planned to do that, and everything I'm saying here is just redundant. It's things you already know. Hopefully that's the case. But if not, you really are going to turn this thing into a partisan farce that people are eventually going to stop caring about. If you can't get enough Ring of Fire, we encourage everyone to subscribe to our channel for fresh video content 7 days a week. And for even more from me, you can follow me on all social media outlets, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Fair and Balanced.